back again with the Mask Man. We're going to see if we can push this out because creating so many profiles always at low battery, so we're going to see if we can kick it. Pretty simple strategy. One of my first decks I topped with, and this is the reboot version. I know there was a version before this one, but they made it a little bit easier to awaken, but this one is more centered to its roots. Basically, old and new had the same effect. You burst 3, and if you milled a black, you gain crit. If you mill any other color besides black, you gain +5 boost. Carried over to the backside. I think this untap one, draw one. Let me just double check. Yep, draw one, untap one. I think the old one was just straight draw 2, but it doesn't matter which one you run. The only caveat to this one is it has an additional effect around the time it was rebooted. Spirit boosting was a thing, and they had a few cute synergies with this one. I don't run the traditional spirit boost, but I still have spirit boost in that deck in case I wanted to use the spirit boost effect just to get the buff standing back up and go to town. This is like one of my favorite, how should I say, swinging sideways deck, because you really don't have to overthink it. For this particular version, your opponent, it puts the onus on your opponent to deal with your strategy versus the other way around. Alright, without further ado, let's get into this. But one more thing, I forgot to mention, I want to eventually go back to him, the Vegeta version, or the other Black Saiyan deck. Shout out to the dude I always play in regionals, or whenever I happen to do like a webcam local. I got that gameplay. I think it was playing Cell at the time. Stuck to his guns, played it correctly, but it was just the end how it was. But that matchup is in the playlist. Go check that out. But definitely, I think this is strong, but not necessarily for best of one. For how long it takes to get going and stuff like that. But most of the decks I'm profiling, there's gameplays in the playlist. Check that out. I tailored these decks for a best of one type of environment and being able to win well under 30 minutes. But let's get on to it. These series of cards are just going to be Crit Nation, my Swingers, Take a Life, 10k, gain crit. That's what effectively these series of cards do. Ain't no much of a difference. We spanning out the color spectrum with these cards, and these are usually our turn 1 play. First or second, you're still in a bad predicament. We just wanted to hit our main colors, doing the same objective thing for the first turn. Second turn, it gets a little bit up there. Defensively, we're rocking these because at first I was just gonna do like the song goes, black and yellow, but since this is now better with the inclusion of white, we can get there, or we can go ham and just have the Mask King as backup. Super combos, since we running all these self-life takers, we're running the Vegetas. Then we got the Kais. This is our only burst top deck one. Then we following up. We don't always get there with our bursting just for our bigger overwhelm, so we need some help. And also, if we hitting cards like these off the top, which can play if they're sent from deck to drop. They play themselves. We need a little bit of help building up that drop. Following up with extra. Actually, no, not extra cards. We still got some battle cards. We'll do the extra cards last. Some classic ones that was around the era of that. And that combos well. My 1-drops. This is like the follow up turn 2 play. If I go first, I'll just burst, play a 1-drop, and then if I have this in hand, swing on my 1-drop, do the crit thing, then overwhelm this, burst again with my leader, and this stands my 1-drops back up and swing again. That is the line, and I have 3 again in my drop, just in case I want to go into the extra deck and set up another overwhelm. Following that up, my other overwhelms. 2 of this is my friend's favorite, just because it replaced itself. I'm more inclined for the top ender, which is double strike crit, and just for, I would say, overwhelm diversity, we running the classic boy. I'd say this is one of my most stylish ones. Desperate Onslaught Bardock. Really cool. And they can't combo from field or block. Need I say more? Then we got the usual, getting onto the extra cards. 2 of the crack. Then we got 2 of how we trigger off our leaders' second ability. You're rarely getting that first one, but you might get the first one. If you charge 2 of the same color. But we don't plan on going that late. We just use it for the second effect, just like this one, just to trigger Bardock's other ability, which is to stand himself back up and get that plus advance. In our last cards, this are kind of like our pseudo sparking, since you can. It's another color for Mass King, and it's Sparking 5, which you can set that up easily. Also, the hatch help you get there, and also just comboing. Alright, going on to the Z deck. It's pretty simple. A lot of 1 energy plays, Jiro just to take a life, just to get down to 4, just to turn our super combos on. Also, this same thing, this can be a swing later. This is not protected. This, so we can go into our double overwhelm plays. This, if I know they playing a lot of counters. I guess it's just in there just in case. I guess we run into them. Then we got more 1 energy, guys. We can sneak this in there because I don't think this leader lot. Let me just double check. Nope, not leader lot. Man, that's a good card. And then lastly, we got 2 interdimensionals. Getting double strike from the Z deck is pretty valuable, but that's been my profile. Thanks for watching. Remember the classic days when these cards were kind of like the best combo in the deck, but now we gotta be fast and efficient. But in the original one, this was my main combo with those that know the vibes. But that's it for that one, and catch you later. Gameplays in the playlist.